It started with a sound, a sharp, piercing static that seemed to tear through the very fabric of reality. The lights flickered. Every screen, every device, came alive with a noise no human had ever heard before. Then, as if the world held its breath, a voice, cold, ancient, emotionless, cut through. "They're already here." In that instant, time fractured. A wave of confusion swept over the city like a pulse. Sirens erupted. People screamed. Every screen now displayed an alien sigil, pulsing with violent energy. The message was garbled at first, a mess of tones and distortions. But then it aligned, almost like it was learning. The translation came next. "We've been waiting for you." Chaos unfolded. Crowds flooded the streets. The government's broadcast stuttered, replaced by an alien transmission. In the heart of it all stood Alex Renn, a 32-year-old human data analyst with a scarred past. Staring at his flickering TV, the signal burning through his mind like fire. He didn't just hear the message, he felt it in his bones. Everything had just changed. Alex staggered back from the screen, heart pounding like a war drum in his chest. The air felt thick, charged. He tried to speak, but his mouth was dry, his voice trapped behind shock. "This isn't happening," he muttered, though the pulse behind his eyes told him otherwise. Outside, the city had transformed into a boiling pot of noise and chaos. Police sirens twisted through the streets, helicopters scoured the skyline, and that alien voice, it still echoed faintly, embedded in his consciousness. He grabbed his phone. No signal. Landline dead. Even the radio hissed with the same encrypted frequency. And then it struck him. He wasn't alone. The signal hadn't just gone global. It had gone personal. Every part of him buzzed like it was tuning into something not meant for human understanding. "We've been waiting for you," the voice had said. But why him? Alex raced to his bedroom and tore open a drawer. Old notebooks, dusty files, things he hadn't looked at in years. He pulled out a photo. His mother standing beside a chalkboard filled with symbols, ones that looked disturbingly similar to the glyph on the screen. She died in a lab accident 15 years ago. Or so he was told. "No way," he whispered. Her journal sat beside the photo, pages stained and crinkled. Symbols, diagrams, notes on energy frequencies. And then a word underlined in red. Visitors. Suddenly, his ears rang. Not from outside, but inside. A pressure building, tightening. The signal was doing something to him. It wasn't just a broadcast, it was a key. And it had found a lock inside his mind. He turned to the wall, an old bulletin board filled with documents his mother had left behind. Newspaper, clippings, lab records, photos of strange satellite interference, patterns. A familiar sigil appeared again, this time in an ancient cave painting clipped from a magazine. It wasn't new. It had been with humanity for centuries. Then, a noise behind him. Alex spun, fists clenched. But no one was there. Still, the air shifted. As if something was. And then his phone lit up. A single word on the screen. "Awaken." With trembling fingers, he tapped it. The phone died instantly. No power. No explanation. The alien signal hadn't ended. It was changing, evolving, and so was he. Suddenly, the windows in his apartment burst inward, shattered by a wave of unseen pressure. Alex dropped to the floor as wind and glass raged around him. Across the city, a beam of light pierced the sky, descending from the heavens like a divine sword. It struck downtown, silencing everything for one breathless moment. Then, an explosion of energy. Not fire. Not heat. Just disruption. Every electronic device in sight collapsed. Silence fell. And in it, the voice returned, louder this time. "The test begins now." Alex lifted his head. Eyes wide. Breath ragged. He wasn't caught in a random attack. He'd just become part of something unimaginable. A test. And he had no idea how to survive it. The next morning, silence settled like a heavy blanket. Alex hadn't slept. He sat on his couch, staring at the charred remains of his phone and the blacked-out TV screen. The city was quieter, but it wasn't peace. It was the silence of fear. His apartment was a mess, glass crunching beneath his feet as he paced. He found himself reaching for an old photo album, his family. His mother, brilliant and haunted. His father, who disappeared without explanation when Alex was 11. There was a photo of all three together at a research site in the desert, smiling. But that smile had always looked forced. A lie captured on film. "Why did you lie to me?" Alex whispered to the photo. The ache in his chest deepened. The message from last night still echoed in his head, not just as sound, but memory. Flashes of moments he didn't remember living. Alien landscapes. Stars that weren't his. It was like something inside him was trying to wake up. Later that day, Alex wandered through the empty streets of his neighborhood. Shops shuttered. Air still. He turned a corner and stopped cold, his old high school still standing. Something drew him in. Inside, memories clung to the walls. Lockers rusted. Hallways dark. He entered a classroom. Dust danced in slivers of light from broken windows. This was where he last saw his mother alive, at a career day presentation, lecturing about theoretical physics and wave harmonics. But now he remembered something else. A man in black had been there too. He wasn't a teacher. Alex was sure of it. "You're not supposed to remember," the man had said back then. But Alex did now. It wasn't a memory. It was a message that had been waiting, locked in his mind. And last night's signal had opened it. Inside that room, he heard her voice. Not echoing in the air, but in his head. A soft whisper. "If you're hearing this, it's begun." His mother's voice. Clear. Full. Real, too. Hidden within him all this time. Alex fell to his knees. She had left him more than notes. She had hidden her consciousness inside his own, woven into dormant memories, waiting for the alien signal to unlock it. "They'll come for you, Alex," she said. "Not because of what you are, but what I did." Her voice faded. He sat in stunned silence, every breath like thunder in his ears. His mother hadn't died in a lab accident. She had uploaded part of herself into him. She had planned for this. Tears fell freely now. Not from grief, but from the terrifying scope of truth. Alex wasn't an accidental participant. He was designed for this. That night, back in his apartment, Alex sat cross-legged on the floor, surrounded by his mother's journals, trying to make sense of the equations. Some of them weren't mathematical. They were sound patterns, frequency charts, harmonic pulses, exact matches to what the alien signal had broadcast. She had known. She'd known decades ago. How? He played a tone from one of her recordings. At first, nothing. Then his vision blurred, his body lightened, like gravity itself weakened. The walls vibrated softly. It wasn't just a sound, it was a gateway. He turned it off, gasping. In the hallway, footsteps. Heavy. Deliberate. He wasn't alone. Someone had followed him. Or something. He moved to the door slowly, silently, breath held. Shadows shifted beneath it. Then, silence. Whatever had come was still there. Waiting. Alex opened the door, but the hallway was empty. Still, he felt something. A presence. Watching. Following. He backed away and locked the door, but he knew locks meant nothing now. Something had been activated inside him, and it had changed everything. He looked at the mirror, and for a split second his reflection wasn't his. The face looking back was older, harsher, with alien glyphs across the skin. He staggered back in horror. Then it was gone. His own face returned, pale and frightened. "What the hell is happening to me?" he whispered. There was no answer. Just the hum of the journals, still vibrating with energy. And beneath it, something deeper. A call. Not from Earth, but from somewhere far, far beyond. And Alex was starting to realize he wasn't just hearing it. He was being summoned. Alex stood in front of an unmarked concrete building downtown, one his mother had referenced in her journal as Site 7. Its entrance had been sealed, but a symbol engraved above the frame pulsed faintly, matching the glyph from the broadcast. As he reached out, the door slid open with a mechanical hiss, untouched by time. Inside was cold and sterile. Fluorescent lights blinked to life. The hallway led to a control center filled with outdated tech, and one working monitor showing a live feed of Earth from low orbit. Then a voice behind him. "You weren't supposed to find this place." Alex turned. A woman in tactical black, early 40s, sharp eyes, stood there with a gun lowered. "You're the son," she said. "Then we're already out of time." Her name was Cara Delane, an ex-operative from a government faction that didn't officially exist. And she knew far more than she should have. "You're not the first they tested," Cara said. "But you might be the last." She gestured to a wall of archived footage, men and women strapped to machines, exposed to the same alien frequencies Alex had heard. They weren't trying to stop the aliens. They were trying to control the interface, the way we receive them. Alex watched, horrified as faces twisted in pain, some mutating, some simply vanishing. "They used us," he whispered. Cara nodded grimly. "Your mother tried to stop it. That's why they erased her." Rage surged in his chest. This wasn't an invasion. It was an experiment. And humanity was the lab rat. "Who authorized this?" he asked. "They call themselves the Ascension Directive," Cara replied. "And they're still running the show." Every question Alex asked only unmasked a darker truth. Cara led him deeper into the facility, past rows of cryochambers. Inside them, humans suspended mid-transformation. Some had patches of alien tissue fused into their bodies, others showed signs of neural implants. Ascension wasn't just about contact, she said. It was about merging. Alex stared at one of the chambers. Its occupant twitched despite the freeze. "Why me?" he asked. "Because your mother encoded part of the alien genome into your DNA. You're a bridge between species." He stepped back. "No, that can't be." Cara placed a hand on his shoulder. "You've always felt different, haven't you?" And he had. Dreams. Instincts. An uncanny ability to predict patterns. He wasn't fully human. Not anymore. And maybe never was. Back in his apartment that night, Alex stared at his reflection again, searching for signs. Were the changes already happening? His phone buzzed, an encrypted message. "Run!" And then, a knock at the door. Cara stood there, eyes wide. "They're here. They traced the activation point to you." Lights across the block flickered. A black SUV screeched to a stop outside. Men in unmarked gear rushed the entrance. Cara drew her gun. "Out the back, now." As they fled through the alley, gunfire erupted. Alex's chest tightened, not from fear, but a feeling of knowing. He moved with eerie precision, as if guided. "What are you doing?" Cara asked as he pulled her into cover, seconds before a drone strike. "I don't know," he said, breathing hard. "But I felt it coming." They escaped into the subway tunnels, breaths ragged, the darkness broken only by flickering emergency lights. "You shouldn't be this fast," Cara said. "You're adapting too quickly." Alex leaned against a pillar, trying to slow his heart. "I don't want this." She crouched beside him. "You may not have a choice. That's what the directive counts on. Confusion. Fear. Compliance." He looked at her, searching for something real. "Why are you helping me?" Cara hesitated, then whispered, "Because I was one of them." The words landed like thunder. "They experimented on me too, but I got out." She showed him a scar along her neck, surgical, precise. I removed the interface, but they left something behind. As she pulled back her sleeve, a faint glyph shimmered beneath her skin. You're not the only one running from what you are. Beneath the city, in a sealed sector of the subway long forgotten, Kara led Alex through a rusted service door. Beyond it lay a hidden chamber, a sanctuary his mother had built. Old equipment hummed faintly, powered by an isolated core. On the wall was a digital mural. Star systems, timelines, and one phrase blinking red. The Genesis line. Kara moved to a console. This is what your mother died to protect, she said. She didn't just study the signal, she decoded its origin. And yours. She tapped a file labeled Renn Spec DNA Prime. The screen lit up with side-by-side comparisons. Alex's genome, and one that wasn't human, but close. Alex backed away, breath catching. She didn't study them, Kara said. She contacted them. You're not just human, Alex. You're the result of something hybrid, and it began generations ago. The bloodline wasn't accidental. It was engineered. Alex stood paralyzed, staring at the genetic map on the screen. He traced the branching lines with his finger, his mother, her mother, stretching back through centuries. She kept it hidden, Kara said softly. But she left it for you. You're part of a line selected by the aliens themselves. They didn't invade Earth. They bred with it. His mind reeled. He remembered stories his mother told him as a child, of sky people, of stars that whispered. Not fairy tales. Memories. His memories. Kara pulled up another file. There's more. Project Promethean. The government didn't just know. They partnered, selected bloodlines, tracked carriers. Alex's face drained of color. So we were never fighting them, he whispered. We were building toward them. Kara nodded. And you were the final piece. A sick realization hit. The survival test wasn't about defense. It was about activation. Suddenly, the walls vibrated. The floor trembled beneath their feet. A low-frequency hum pulsed through the air, deep, resonant, alive. Kara's face went pale. They found us. A panel behind them opened, revealing a humanoid figure, tall, elegant, with translucent skin that shimmered like oil. Not hostile. Not aggressive. It bowed. You've come of age, it said, voice deep and melodic. Alex stepped forward, drawn to it. His skin began to glow faintly, glyphs surfacing beneath his veins. Kara raised her weapon, shaking. What are you? The being tilted its head. He is one of us. You are not. Then it turned to Alex. The directive sought to control evolution. But it cannot control destiny. The room filled with a quiet hum. Alex understood it now. It wasn't fear he felt. It was recognition. He wasn't meeting the enemy. He was meeting his origin. The alien extended its hand. You are the key, Alex Renn. Your bloodline carries the code. Your mother began the unlocking. You will complete it. Kara stepped between them, voice firm. He's not ready. The alien's eyes pulsed, not in anger, but in sorrow. He has no choice. The directive won't stop until he's taken, or destroyed. Alex looked to Kara, torn. They used me, he said. My whole life was a lie. She touched his arm. No, your life was shielded. Your mother gave you time to decide who you'd become. He looked again at the alien. And if I don't do this? The being replied, then the directive wins, and your species becomes theirs. Silence fell. Alex clenched his fists. He didn't know what choice he'd make, but he now understood what was at stake. This wasn't just about survival. It was about sovereignty. That night, they emerged from the underground and moved toward the edge of the city. Fires burned in the distance, part of the directive's containment protocol. Skies shimmered with strange clouds warping unnaturally. Kara led Alex to a relay beacon hidden in an abandoned observatory. This is the last untouched uplink, she said. If we send a signal from here, we expose them all. Alex looked up at the stars. One flickered unnaturally. The alien stood beside him now, quiet. You can call for help, Kara said. Or call for war. He placed his hand on the beacon console. His glyphs began to glow again. Frequencies aligned. He had a choice. Be the messenger or be the weapon. His voice trembled. I don't know what I am anymore. Kara answered. That's how you know you're still human. But they both knew. He was no longer only that. The uplink surged with light as Alex touched it. Signals pulsed into the sky, alien and human frequencies colliding, overlapping. Kara monitored the beacon's readouts, her hands shaking. They know we've activated it. Above them the stars pulsed unnaturally, a ripple in the upper atmosphere like a shockwave. The alien figure closed its eyes, absorbing the data. Others have heard. Some will come to help. Others will come to end you. Suddenly, Kara's tablet screamed with alerts. Directive strike team inbound, 6 minutes. Alex's head swam with possibilities. Fight. Flee? Or signal again, and risk bringing more than Earth can handle. This beacon wasn't just built to reach allies, the alien said. It can awaken them. Kara froze. You mean the hybrids? The alien nodded slowly. The others like him, buried dormant, waiting for the call. Alex felt a thrum in his chest. They were waking. And it had already begun. The first drone arrived silently, hovering just above the tree line before launching a concussive burst at the observatory dome. It exploded in a hail of metal and fire. Alex and Kara dove for cover as debris rained around them. The alien didn't move. Its body glimmered, absorbing the energy like a sponge. We don't have long, Kara shouted. They'll be on foot next. Alex felt a vibration deep inside, resonating, synchronizing. Something beneath the surface was waking. Then, a distant sound, movement from the forest. Not soldiers. Not machines. Figures emerging. People. Their skin marked with glowing glyphs, their eyes reflecting the same energy Alex had seen in his own. They're like me, he whispered. Kara stepped back, stunned. How many are there? The alien answered. Enough. Alex realized this wasn't a solo test anymore. It was a collective awakening. And the war had arrived. The awakened hybrids approached without fear. Men, women, even teenagers, ordinary people carrying something extraordinary. They looked to Alex silently, waiting. One of them, a woman in her 60s with silver-streaked hair, stepped forward. We heard the call, she said. And we remember now. Kara eyed them warily. How many more? The woman answered. Thousands. Scattered. Hidden, dreaming until today. Suddenly, lights cut through the forest, military-grade floodlamps. Directive soldiers appeared in full armor, rifles raised. Down. Kara barked. But the hybrids didn't flinch. As bullets fired, energy shields erupted from their bodies, instinctive, fluid. Kara stared in disbelief. They're not human anymore. Alex stood, calm. No, but they're still ours. And with a voice not entirely his own, he raised his hand and spoke. Not English. Not alien. Something in between. Dial. The hybrids responded in unison. Alex had become their signal. Their leader. The directive fired again, but this time, the energy bent. The hybrids redirected it, their bodies moving in patterns too perfect to be human. Kara covered her head, watching in awe as a silent wall of defense formed around Alex. The alien stepped forward into the fray, speaking through vibration. The soldiers hesitated, then fell back. Some dropped their weapons entirely, staring in horror. Their tech had failed. Their power had failed. And before them stood the future they had tried to suppress. Alex approached one soldier, still trembling, holding his weapon. You don't have to fight us, Alex said gently. You're not our enemy. They are. The soldier's eyes filled with tears. They told us you'd destroy everything. Alex's reply was soft. They lied. One by one the soldiers retreated. The hybrids stood motionless. The battle had ended, not in death, but in truth. As dawn broke over the horizon, the battlefield was silent. No gunfire. No screams. Just the hum of awakening. Kara walked beside Alex, her weapon slung low, forgotten. That wasn't just a fight, she said. It was a message. Alex nodded. The world isn't ready for what comes next. He looked down at his arms, the glyphs fading slightly, like the energy had settled for now. The alien joined them, gazing at the rising sun. There will be others, it said. Worse than the directive, worlds that will not accept your kind. Kara looked to Alex. What do we do now? He answered, We prepare. We tell the truth. We stop hiding. She smirked. That's a death sentence. Alex shook his head. No. That's evolution. And as the sun rose over the fractured world, the hybrids followed him. Silent but united. It wasn't over. It was just the beginning of something greater. The hybrids gathered in a repurposed power plant, one of the few remaining structures capable of hosting high-energy interface protocols. The alien stood at the center, surrounded by Alex and Kara, all staring at a device suspended above the floor, the core transmitter. Kara circled it, wary. This is what they built to control you. The alien replied, Yes, but it can do more. Alex stepped forward. You're saying I can use this to broadcast truth or domination? The alien warned. What you send, they will follow. Kara looked to him. You could bring unity or chaos. Alex studied the core. He could feel it pulsing, not with energy but with intention. It was waiting for his command. He realized then, this wasn't just about stopping the directive. It was about deciding what came after. And that power terrified him more than anything. As Alex approached the core, his body reacted. Glyphs blazed to life, energy spiraling up his spine. Kara grabbed his arm. If you do this, there's no going back. Alex didn't speak. He felt. Images surged through him, distant stars, alien cities, human wars, his mother's face whispering, This is your moment. The alien stepped forward. We built the test to find one who could choose, not from fear, but from wisdom. Alex looked around at the hybrids, scared, hopeful, broken but awakening. And if I choose wrong, he asked. Then you'll become them, the alien answered. Kara watched him, eyes filled with conflict. You're not a god, Alex, don't try to become one. He nodded. I'm not, but someone has to be brave enough to be first. He reached out. The core answered with light. The moment Alex touched the core, the room disappeared. He stood suspended in void, stars around him like memories, voices echoing from every corner of time. His mother appeared, not physically, but as a presence. You can show them who they are, she said. Or who they're afraid to become. In this liminal space, Alex saw Earth not as it was, but as it could be. He saw humans linked by thought, not war. He saw cities born of balance, not control. But he also saw ruin, if he imposed his will. The temptation was real. To fix everything. To lead everything. His hands trembled. I don't want to control them, he whispered. The void responded, then guide them. He realized the answer wasn't power. It was permission. Alex closed his eyes and let go of command. The core pulsed and began broadcasting truth. Back in the physical world, the core surged with light, sending waves of energy across the planet. Screens flickered, satellites shifted, hidden receivers awoke. Everywhere people saw the truth, the directive's manipulation, the hybrid history, the call to awaken. No commands, no threats, just pure, unfiltered truth. In living rooms, on streets, aboard ships and underground bunkers, humanity stopped, listened. and changed. Some broke down in tears. Others turned on their commanders. Some simply walked outside and looked at the stars with new eyes. Kara stepped beside Alex as the core dimmed. You didn't force them. Alex exhaled, shaking. They had to choose. The alien bowed. You passed the test. Alex looked at his reflection in a shattered panel. Then why do I feel like it's just starting? Outside the world was stirring, and no one would ever see it the same way again. Night returned. Alex stood outside the ruined power plant, the core now silent behind him. Kara leaned beside a fallen wall, arms crossed. You did it, she said. He nodded slowly. I didn't save them, I just gave them a mirror. The alien approached for the final time. You are no longer of one world, it said. You are a bridge between many. That will be your burden. Alex didn't reply. The weight of peace, of awakening, pressed heavier than any war. Kara tossed him a small transmitter. We'll need to build a new world. You in. Alex looked to the stars. One blinked. Then, another. We'll need to hurry, he said. The sky shimmered subtle. Something watching, waiting. He walked forward, glyphs fading. For the first time, Alex Renn wasn't running. He was walking into what came next. 3 days after the transmission, the world looked the same, but it felt entirely different. The sky was still blue. The traffic still hummed. People still walked their dogs, brewed their coffee. But beneath the surface, something had shifted. Whispers spread in cafes and government halls. Files leaked. Families questioned bloodlines. Conspiracies turned out to be truths. In quiet corners of the world, hybrids came forward. Some were welcomed. Others were hunted. But no one could deny it now. Humanity was no longer alone, and maybe never had been. Alex sat in a park, watching a little girl with glowing glyphs on her arms draw in chalk beside her mother. No one stared. No one ran. They just watched. Kara joined him, sitting beside him in silence. They're adapting, she said. Alex replied softly. They don't have a choice. None of us do anymore. Alex and Kara walked the length of the harbor that evening. Boats drifted quietly. The skyline shimmered with residual auroras, echoes from the core's broadcast. Some countries are already drafting hybrid rights laws, Kara said. Others are mobilizing weapons. Alex stopped, gazing at the water. The truth isn't peace, it's pressure. It forces everyone to act. She nodded. And not everyone's ready for it. Alex pulled a small device from his coat. His mother's last encrypted file, still unopened. You think she knew all of this? He asked. Kara shrugged. She knew more than anyone, but she still believed in people. Alex held the device tight. Then maybe it's time to finish what she started. Kara looked up at the lights in the sky, 3 now blinking in a pattern. You better do it fast, whatever's watching. It's getting closer. That night, Alex sat alone inside a candlelit room, deep within a fortified safe house. Across from him was a terminal, the last of his mother's legacy. He hesitated, then placed the device into the reader. It whirred to life. A projection flickered, a final message. His mother appeared, older than he remembered. If you're watching this, it means you've chosen, she said. I'm proud of you, but this is bigger than Earth. You were never meant to stay here. Her eyes flicked away from the camera, as if sensing something off screen. They will come, not to conquer, but to claim what they ceded. The message ended abruptly. Static. A countdown blinked on the screen, coordinates encoded within. Alex leaned back, breath shallow. This wasn't a conclusion. It was a map. The real test wasn't Earth. It was out there. Outside the safe house, winds picked up. The sky above rippled, not clouds, but waves in the atmosphere. Kara stood watch beside an antenna tower, her eyes narrowed. Something's moving, she said into her calm. Alex exited the bunker slowly, face pale but calm. She left me a destination, he said. far beyond our system. Kara turned. You're not going alone. Alex smiled faintly. I think I was never really alone to begin with. Behind them, the hybrids emerged, silent, watching. Some wore civilian clothes. Others in armor scavenged from old battles. They didn't speak. They felt. The alien returned, stepping out of the forest line, no longer a guide, but an equal. The future will not wait, it said. Alex looked to Kara. Then, let's meet it halfway. Engines powered up behind them, deep, thunderous. A ship waited. Not human. Not alien. Something between. The ship's doors opened with a hiss. Alex stepped forward, each stride deliberate. Final. Kara followed, hands trembling slightly. The hybrids moved like a tide, boarding behind them. Inside, the walls shimmered, alive with language, memory, data. As the ship lifted, Earth shrank beneath them. Alex stood at the observation window, silent. You okay? Kara asked. He nodded. No, but I'm ready. The alien joined them, gesturing toward the stars. You've passed one test, but there are others. Across systems, across time. Outside, the stars shifted, like gears in some impossible machine. One blinked red. The others followed. Alex whispered, The truth has a price. The camera pulled back, Earth small, silent, watched by a sky full of blinking lights. Then, in the cold silence of space, the final words appeared in his mind. This isn't over. It's just the beginning.